watching to make sure it actually flipped over. Oh yeah, also welcome back. This is Jack. You know who I am. Hey, how's it going? I'm thinking today might be my last day I actually stream on Twitch. I don't know. Like, I forgot to set up my phone monitor to make sure I'm able to see what y'all see. Sorry, give me a second. Nope, not that. There we go. I like to have my phone set up so I can see what, make sure, like, it gives me another place to look for, like, how far behind you guys are, and, if my camera freezes, I can see it from a different angle. So, like, I can spot it down there instead of just having to look over here. Stuff like that. Or if I disconnect. Sorry, I'm in a bit of a mood. Like, not a bad mood. Like, so last night I was recording a Let's Play, my first Let's Play in over a year. It was a VR Let's Play, because I think I'm going to do a bit of VR Let's Plays, because I feel that's something I can have a lot of fun doing. I was wearing a tank top. Y'all see me wear tank tops all the time. And what was it? There's words I'm looking for. I have words that I want to say. But yeah, I was wearing a tank top, and I was playing Doom VFR. Doom VFR, I completely lambasted and didn't like. But somebody said that they either added or I didn't find that you can actually turn off the teleport movement and just walk normally. Oh, cool. Let me give it another try, because it's a Doom game. I'd have too much fun playing a Doom game. Well, guess what? You can't turn with the controllers. You can walk, but you can't turn with the controller. So I have to physically turn. You know what? It's janky. I don't like it, but fine. Whatever. So during the Let's Play, I see myself turn 90 degrees. So you see my profile. And because I'm wearing a tight tank top, you see my gut. And it's just like, it killed me. Like I've been building up a bit of self-esteem. Like, yeah, I know I got it. I also know I got, but I've also been working really hard on my upper body, putting on muscle, all that good stuff. But then I saw my gut, and I'm like, God damn it. Like, I know my body fat percentage is pretty high. That's what hides a lot of my definition. And I know this is me being very vain, but my appearance, my body image issues, I've had most of my life to some degree. And the Navy didn't freaking help. Where, like, my whole worth was judged based on my appearance. So, like, oh, you're not worth being a sailor because you got a gut. Stuff like that. And it freaking killed me. It just does. So, you know, like, later on in the stream, I might actually pull up the video and let y'all see some of it. So you guys can see what I'm talking about. It still needs to be edited. Like, I recorded it, I haven't edited it yet. Like, I'm trying to resist throwing it away, but I think I was pretty damn funny at it. Like, I think I did a good job. But the fact that, like, you can see my gut, like, there's parts of me that, like, the entertainer side of me that wants to highlight that and make fun of it, because I think it can be funny. But there's the parts of me that are, like my internal part that looks at it and, like, I just don't look good. And yeah, I do know that some people would say people like dad bods and stuff like that. I know, but it doesn't help. I've been told my whole life that I'm ugly because I'm fat. Like, literally my whole life I've been told that. And now all of a sudden people are, like, on Twitter saying, "Oh, you got a dad bod, you're actually not ugly." Like, it doesn't feel like that. So, I don't know. I'm really dehydrated, so I'll be drinking a lot of water. I do have my coffee as always. I do need to start switching in some tea every so often. Like, not because, like, I need to reduce my coffee. It's just I want some tea. Change it up a bit. Sorry, I'm just thinking. Anyway, I should probably get into the game. Let me get my soundboard up. Give it a quick test. Alright, yeah, soundboard working. Alright. Let me move that closer. Since I'm using a controller, I can move that closer. I don't know why I got pushed so far back, actually. Oh yeah, I have the music on, but I have it, I'm not monitoring it, so I can't hear it. It's like, why is it so quiet? Oh yeah, that's why. I think Kyrgyzstan, which is this over here, is the only place I haven't gotten the final set of skill points. Now I'm really interested in how they're gonna, like, I've heard some rumors here and there about how they're going to be doing the seasons, because like I know in Diablo 3 you had to make a new character every season, and that's pretty much set in stone with this one. Everybody expects that. And I'm assuming after the season's over, your character just becomes an eternal character. The problem is, are we gonna get more save slots? Because you have enough currently with 10, you have enough to make one of each character, or one of each class, for one for each for hardcore and one for each eternal. So if they start making making it season stuff, are we gonna get 5 more so we can make one for each class for the season? Because you're gonna have people like me who want to play every class simultaneously. Yeah, this build I'm doing right here is extremely OP, but it gets so boring. Like, that's the unfortunate thing. You either have a really good build where like you don't feel threatened half the time, or you have a build that's borderline crap. And the one thing I don't like about hardcore matches or hardcore characters is you mess up once, your character's gone. Like, there is no, it now is a sorry, it's now a normal character. It's just gone. And I get that. That's part of the appeal of the challenge, but it doesn't stop it from being intimidating. Like, near the end of me playing my druid that was like level 40 some odd change, I was just intimidated playing it at all times. Like, and I lost it, so that tells you how it went. Because druids, yes, have high-ass survivability, but the damage is usually pretty shit. Until they get to, like, start getting uniques and stuff like that. Then it gets a bit more better. Yeah, but there's a lot going on. So XQC jumped over to Kick. That's old news at this point. And he seems determined to be done. Like, there's actually a part of me that like really gets frustrated. You have a lot of these content creators who are insanely popular. XQC is, I think, the largest streamer in the world. Like, he gets the most views, he gets the most subscribers, and all that stuff. And if nothing else, he just closed the biggest deal to stream on a channel. Like, and it's not even an exclusivity deal. Which can be up to 120 million. I think it's not that. I think it's the way it's been explained by like Devin Nash, who's pretty good about this stuff. He said it's more likely he has a stream minimum he has to do, or no, not even a stream minimum, but he gets like, for every hour he streams he gets this much, but he has a maximum of a certain amount. So it's meant to encourage him to also stream on Twitch from time to time, so people who follow him on Twitch start moving over to Kick as he slowly starts streaming more and more on Kick. I think that's what it's meant for. And so I said all that part to get to this part. He did that, gets this amazing deal, this sweetheart deal, and then he I think he did this. I know he did this. I just don't know if it was on Kick. He streamed watching Batman on streamed watching Batman, and watch parties are no big deal. I don't know if he did that on Twitch or Kick, but I do know he straight up did watch Breaking Bad. And like, Surprise Pikachu like may get in trouble for it. Like, he hasn't yet, because Kick really doesn't want to like completely ban him shortly after moving over, because that would be that'd get them a lot of friend bases from their, oh, you can do almost anything on Kick side. What I do know is they shadow banned him during that time. Like I would know this if it wasn't for Penguinzo was found out about while he was streaming. and he checked it out, but like effectively like his stream stopped being on the main page. Like you had to go to XQC's page to find it. That's what they did because they didn't want to shut him down and stop it. But yeah, no, like the reason why it bothers me is like you have Aiden Ross, for instance, who plays the dumb kid all the time. Now I don't know how much of it is him intentionally acting dumb or actually is. I know he acts as they call it sus all the time, like pretending he's gay sometimes. And he may be for all I know, and I don't care if he is or not. But he'll act like he didn't know that Georgia was a country. And he is a kid. Like, I know he's significantly younger than me. I'm 35. But this guy acts like a role model to a lot of younger people, and just gets to do this kind of stuff. And it just kind of bums me out. And then you have XQC, who seems to actively be trying to destroy the streaming platform, who just got a big deal with. I'll have to move that. That would have a big I know you could, and it would be fair if some of you turned around and said, well, you're just jealous of their success. Like, no, you're legitimately right, but that would be a very fair assessment. But the part that I'm kind of trying to hit on is you have these people who I feel are bad actors. They built their careers on drama and being effectively a bad influence. There's a lot of stuff I've had to go through and learn, and they seem to be able to get away with nothing. Which, once again, you could argue it's just a matter of timing. They became content creators who didn't need to be a master of 50 million things. There just wasn't that many content creators. But like someone like Aiden Ross has literally built his career on just getting in trouble, like doing questionable things, getting himself banned all the time. I don't like, obviously I don't know about it, so I don't think it's going to start with drama. The audience have never seen anything I just said. It's not happening. Just something that goes through my head. Some of these content creators who I really wish they would be better versions of it and not cause problems. Like, you can be problem entertainment. Probably another good example would be Jake Paul, actually. It would be a really good example. I wouldn't call him stupid. Like, I would not call him stupid. I would argue he's actually incredibly intelligent because in his field, which is being a troll effectively. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to get away with it. But he's a prime example of content creators needing to be more better. Because he has a lot of these kids who look up to him for some reason, and some adults now. And he's doing crypto scams. Like, that's not even subtle. You want a good example of like the crypto scams? Him and his brother had like a whole series done by Coffeezilla. They need to see the latest Coffeezilla. Like, he's got a 3-parter about a pretty big scam that he busted. I kind of want to watch. Like, I like watching this stuff. It's something I like to listen to in the background while I'm just thinking or working on stuff. When I can sacrifice myself. And I'm mind you, I don't think I'm anything. I don't think I'm the executor on morality. I don't think I'm anything super special in that regard. Because like I have my friends. I don't think I'm a bad influence. Someone could argue otherwise. I try to be a good influence, saying that people can be better and should do better. But that doesn't necessarily. Oh yeah, I did level. That doesn't necessarily make me a good influence. It just makes me somebody who bloviates, talks a lot. Because as I'm setting people on fire constantly, it'll give me a constant health regen. A small one, because I don't mass burn people in the game. Actually, now I should think about it. It's probably a big circle. Let me go back up this way. The worst case scenario. Will you walk beyond this world of endless torment? Blood and loss of prison, dreams of quiet will come. Will you shatter loss? And we did have a scare in regards to. I did mention this that Russia had like a mini revolt happen in the form of the Wagner group, which is a mercenary group. The Wagner group, which is the mercenary group, apparently are Nazi affiliated. I don't know if that's true or not, but it has like a Nazi composite game or something. One of my I need to make sure I at least have like either my teleport or my fire shield going, because he does have a grab. I'm usually pretty good about dodging them. That's why. He actually heals from it too, so. I said all this stuff. I know it's like, woe is me. I'm it is on probably pretty screen. No, it's not. It's one of my adopted siblings. those who don't know, I have a lot of people I call my brothers and sisters that aren't actually related to me in the slightest, and haven't actually been like legally adopted. Music is very loud. There. And I also don't have the mic properly pointed towards me, so that's an issue. Let me turn up the sensitivity at least. There, that should be a bit better. Well, especially once I turn the mic towards me, but I'm in a dangerous place, and I'm playing a hardcore character, so I don't want to try. Also, how you doing, Cool Walker? Let's see what this event is. Give you something to do. Let's protect the people. Though it looks like it'll give me some ghosts. Yeah, but as I said earlier, I have a habit of adopting people into my family who aren't like blood related in any way. These are just people who I'm really close to, usually. I'm here. My self-esteem got shot to hell. Excuse me. My self-esteem got shot to hell when I was going over a recording for a Let's Play I was gonna be editing up. Since it's VR, you see more of my body than normal, and I had to physically turn, and I got to see more of like how big my gut is, and I'm like, ugh. And yes, I know I'm making progress. Yes, I know it's a marathon, not a sprint, but it doesn't make it feel much better. That'll be a good one. That cooldown reduction is ridiculous. Yeah, that ability is actually pointless. I don't even know why I care. I remember putting that on just because it, who did it? No one said anything to me. It was my own brain that messed with me. Did I miss my opportunity? Yeah, I just rolled over. Damn it. Oh. I can knock out some of these random ones. I know I got to make steady progress, and I've actually been eating unhealthy the last couple of days. But every now and then you kind of need to do that, otherwise you'll just have a complete breakdown. So I get that. And by all metrics, I'm being successful. Like I'm moving in the right direction with most of my goals. It's just every now and then you look at the scope of how much further you have to go, or how little you've progressed, and it just sometimes eats at you. Like, I know I've done good. I've put on a decent chunk of muscle. Knowing if I lost weight or not is usually kind of difficult because I have to go by measurement. And since my gut seems to be like one of the last places that wants to lose fat, yeah, cheat days are necessary. And since my gut fat seems to be one of the last places it wants to lose weight, that's even hard to tell. And the reason why like just standing on a scale doesn't work is because I put on muscle really damn quick. I bulk up really quick, I should say. And yeah, I know a lot of you have heard this before, but I'm gonna say it again. I put on muscle really quick. I bulk up really quick, so like my weight on the scale doesn't move very much. If anything, it actually might tick up every now and then. And if measurements are out the window, then so you pretty much have to go with how do you feel about how you look, and then when you have days like that where you see like one of the things you're self-conscious about, it does mess with you. And I know, and yes, I do know I'm being hard on myself. It's kind of hard not to. I did say earlier that a lot of my life has been built around, or a lot of, I want to use the word abuse, but I don't feel that is an accurate word. I feel that's an over-exaggeration, but we're going to use the word abuse. Has come from people talking about my weight. And saying, like, hell, as I've mentioned before, almost my whole time in the Navy could be described as me being told I'm fat. And it wears on you. And I honestly feel this might be one of the programmings that I may never actually be able to shake. Like I've mentioned before that a lot of my life has been me trying to shake some of the bad programming that I've put in my head. But I feel like my appearance, my body image issues might be one that I never truly shake. I could have a six-pack abs, huge ass biceps, all that stuff. I'll probably still like internally hate something about me. Like I'm gonna be straight up about it. Like I don't feel like I should lie about it. I need to rip that one and put it on my current helmet. That one I don't even care about, but I'm gonna break it down. I don't know why that's actually a huge ass increase. Oh well. It must be the raw damage that it's doing.
Precious stones to catch the light. Bless and thank you.
Well, so also take into account, like I do feel that this needs to be brought up. That one's garbage. Nowadays, a lot of people are actually saying that they like dad bods, which I'm very clearly in the camp of having a dad bod. I do have some muscle and I got a gut, so I clearly have a dad bod. And it's now more popular among women to say, hey, they like dad bods. The problem is one, it's been programmed into my head that I need a six pack. So that's probably not going anywhere for a while. But that's one. But two, That's a good one. Is that better than what I'm currently using? By a little bit. And unfortunately, that one has the exact same ability. Hey, Gavik. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So there's a lot more people saying that they like dad bods and stuff like that, and I get that. I believe that that's entirely possible, and I clearly have a dad bod. But where it comes back into is and that could very well be true. But what it comes back into is, and this is my own damn fault. I am well aware of this. I don't go out very often, and so because of that, I remain single and all that stuff. And because I remain single, I think it's because of my appearance, even though I intellectually know it's because I don't go anywhere. So you're just stuck in this infinite cycle of infinite cycle of self doubt and self dislike. And once again, I'm 1,000,000% aware it's my own damn fault. No one needs to tell me that. Yeah, that mask needs to be changed out at some point, but we'll go with that. Yeah. Now, like, once again, I know it's, yeah. Now, once again, I'm trying not to make this whole stream a woe is me kind of thing. It's just that's what's kind of sitting on my mind. Um, Pretty good, ultimately. I recorded my first Let's Play that I didn't immediately delete. Because it took me a little bit to get back into the swing and the ability to perform in a Let's Play. I got that recorded, and I think it came out pretty decently. Once again, what set me off was me turning profile at one point and seeing my gut. But ignoring that part. I think I did a good job. I think I was somewhat entertaining. Now it's going to come down to like how well I do the editing. And which I think editing is one of my strong suits. I think I legitimately do good. I do mo better with edit.
Not while I'm in town.
In case anyone's wondering and didn't hear it earlier, it is me returning to like Doom VFR to give it another shot, because I did find out that Doom VFR does have a way to make it where you can walk around instead of teleporting. The only downside to it is that you can't turn with the joysticks, so you have to physically turn your whole body. I did release a couple new shorts on Coffee Over Gaming, which are in regards to my work, is continuously getting more subscribers. I think I'm up to 663. 3 more, and I have the number I've been shooting for, 666. I got one scheduled for tomorrow already, so I'm a little ahead of my work. I have a bad habit of like not making things until the day of. Like, no, like, as I did mention earlier, like, by all metrics, I'm doing mo better. I'm making good strides towards all of my goals. It just eats at you sometimes when you look at, you get reminded of not how far you've come, but how far you have to go, and it just gets overwhelming sometimes. And I'm sure you understand that. Like, I mean, you've talked enough to know, like, both of us have had our massive setbacks more than once. And yours, you have more of an excuse because they are things that are far beyond your control. That's a pretty good one. I'll have to put that on something. Probably my offhand. But just because you can justify it in your head that, and I know you know this, but just because you can justify it intellectually doesn't mean you don't feel it in your heart differently. Emotions don't need logic. In fact, they actually just don't care about it.
Not while I'm in town.
So it's really interested in that we have now XQC and Amaranth moving over to Kick. Now, by the way, this will probably be the last time I stream on Twitch. I'll probably like disable it from streaming on Twitch and then just take off restream. Because I was already planning on stopping Twitch again just because I don't want to pay for restream. And there's no real benefit to me streaming on Twitch. Like, I don't... more often than not, it's more of a hassle anyway. Because I get the... I think on YouTube I get a lot less of the, hey, do you want to take a look at my art? Like, I don't want to be a dick, but at the same time, it gets really annoying hearing that over and over again. God damn it, he was still immortal when I did that. Yeah, I leveled. I'm level 40. Item enchanting. I don't know why it said item enchanting unlocked. I don't know what that it's referring to. Oh good, I have another player helping. I'm saving my nuking him for when he actually revives.
I'm not ready yet.
All right. Actually, what's... Okay, yeah. I don't need to worry about it. Um, I did run a good I feel I did run a decent 0 session or 0.5 session. Especially for since I haven't run a D&D game in over a year actually, now that I'm thinking of it. I think I did a good job. Um, Ooh, head rush. I was just sitting here thinking, because I'm sitting here thinking about kicking it. I'm just sitting here thinking of like how kick and XQC and all that. Like with how they treat it, is there any chance of it actually succeeding? And like my first instinct is no. Like I did, like I have no intention of ever moving over there. I can't bring myself to do it. But oh yeah, I leveled at some point. Oh, wait, why did it say I had enchantment? I should probably figure out what that is. I'm wondering if that was actually worth getting. Yeah, that's fair. I should probably take that, the Lucky Hit Convulsions, just because the occasional stun is probably helpful. Let's take that one off. The healing is not significant enough for me to care about it. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, um, with how, like XQC is treating it, like as I mentioned earlier, he was I know he streamed Breaking Bad on there. I don't know if he streamed Batman as well, or if that was on or if he had done that on Twitch before he moved over. But you have one, yeah. Um. Anyway, like I have words. With how like people like XQC are treating it. Aiden Ross being another where he like had a Super Bowl watch party. Him and Trainwrecks both had a Super Bowl watch parties, who were at the time two of the biggest content creators on there. And I can guarantee you they probably didn't. They probably did not have permission to do that. And then you have now I think he's the largest streamer. I'm trying not to rely on excuses or at least you can in regards to that real fast, and then I'll go back to what I was saying. You can recognize that something is not out of your control, but then you can also turn around and use that experience to go, here's how I can mitigate that mistake in the future. I will admit, because of that mindset, I have made it very difficult for me to work with people. Because a lot of times I'm let down. It's because I relied on somebody to carry a certain amount of water and they didn't. So that's why I tend to work a lot on my own. But anyway, so you have the largest content creator, like in regards to like how much they're getting paid, and like how many people watch their streams. Blatantly breaking DMCA, just inviting being sued, which like you could look at it and go, well, Kick can definitely afford the money because they're backed by a massive casino, and if what I've heard is true, they're also backed by Saudi Arabia, which effectively has infinite money to throw at these kind of publicity things, as you saw with like the Live Golf tournament.
Ready yet.
But the problem is that in theory, I'm not a lawyer, but in theory, Amazon can also be sued because they're the ones who are hosting the web service for it. And if like they are providing the web service for a social media hosting service that is breaking the law like that, then they are effectively they're helping in the crime, and that can in theory lead to Amazon being sued as well. And if Amazon gets sued, they'll wipe the contract real fast. Now the inverse is possible too, because Twitch doesn't know how to monetize to save their life, quite literally. If Kick is somewhat successful, and I do see how they can be successful, I actually do see a pathway for it, where it's successful in its own right. And by extension, Twitch could do the same thing. They're just dumb. Sorry, trying to get my thoughts back together. If Amazon gets sued because of that, they'll cut Kick. They'll just drop them because they're the ones who host the web service for Kick. So Amazon makes money from Kick existing, and it costs them less money because they're not the ones running it. They actually make more money probably from Kick than they do Twitch. Because I don't think they make any money from Twitch. They actually cost money. But it is possible that Amazon could turn around and go, hey, it's cheaper for us to allow Kick to exist and us just host the web service for companies like this. We're just going to close down Twitch. It's entirely possible that could happen. Now, will it? No idea. Oh, I can switch that out, no issue, because its ability's turned off anyway. Now, once again, I'm not a legal scholar, I'm not an insider or anything like that. Now, how I do imagine Twitch being able to make a profit if they decided to do it right, is Twitch has got the one advantage that Kick does not have. Well, it has two advantages, actually. One, it's still the biggest market share of streaming. Like, YouTube's growing, but it's nowhere near, and Kick's growing, still nowhere near. No one's taking them serious. With the XQC deal, maybe. People are taking it a little bit more serious. But then you also have people like Pokemon and Hassan Piker who are like saying, hey, we don't trust you guys because you're backed by a casino. Oh, no, you're right. I do... I'm a YouTuber first and foremost. Like, I will not move from YouTube. Unless I got banned from YouTube, which I don't see happening. I don't shake the waters enough for stuff like that to happen. I probably will never move from YouTube. I have no interest in doing that one. But I do like the idea of Kick being successful, because as Penguinzo put it out and Hassan Piker have put out, they made a great point that if Kick is successful, it does force the other companies to up their game. Don't put my pen 15 on the screen. What? Why would I put that? What?
Bless you.
Oh, now I know what you're saying. In regards to me getting kicked out or banned or something. Yeah, no, like, I think the only thing I could, in theory, get in trouble for is if I say something extremely controversial. Because, like, I do have my political beliefs and I don't hide them. But I don't think anything I say is to, like, I think for YouTube, the most they might do is just, like, not monetize my stuff. I curse quite a bit, but once again, I think there's people who are much worse about it than I am. Yeah. And I don't dress in such a way that I would have an accident while I'm doing... Oh, there's no way. Like, I can't even bring myself to say that word. But anyway, that would be the only way I moved off YouTube. Is if, or unless they did something really bad. But yeah, I view myself as a YouTuber first and foremost. But anyway. But if Kick is successful, it does make the other companies... Yeah. I can't even say the not hard R. Like, I just can't bring myself to say it because I know what it means. Although apparently on Twitter, calling someone cis, as in like cisgender, is considered a slur now. Like, I really think that's stupid. Elon Musk is an idiot. Like, the one good thing about, like, Elon Musk taking over Twitter has been that people are starting to realize just because someone's a billionaire does not make them a genius. That has been, like, one of the big benefits. Hell, even then, now that I'm thinking about it, like, even that might not have gotten me banned, because there's plenty of, content creators who've said that and still are on YouTube. They just get demonetized. Like, you'll still see, like, Jordan Peterson, or not Jordan Peterson, he doesn't say that, but, like, what's his name? He's the guy who was abusing his wife. But no, like, it would have to take something drastic to change for me to leave here. That, but anyway, but yeah, if Kick becomes successful, then in theory it would push Twitch and YouTube to be more beta about how they handle their business. Yeah, I hate that they give me these minions with increased health, and it's an obscene amount of health, so you can't freaking win. I love when that happens. Like, you have just that swarm of bats coming at you, and you hit one, and it just chain reactions. But no, Steven Crowder, that's his name. Like, his wife, like, there's a video that came out of his wife being extremely pregnant. Like, she was like 8 months with twins, and he was just being extremely abusive to her. And then, like, stories came out that, like, he likes to put his dick on people that work for him. And then, like, his response video to it wasn't, no, I don't do that. It was, no, I do it all the damn time. pretty much at this point, I think the only way to ever get like removed from like the right wing culture is if it's revealed that you and even then, like, no, it's been proven. Well, no, not even then anymore, because it used to. Is if you you're a PDF file. You can translate what that means in your head. Because, like, I know, like, that happened with Minopolis. I don't know if he actively is one or ever was one, but he defended it at one point and just disappeared from conservative culture instantly. Like, he was just gone. But there's now more and more stories of Republicans who maintain power no matter what. Like, I think the biggest example would be Roy Moore in Alabama. He almost won his run for office, even though he was a known that word. He almost won. Like, he lost by 1%, and that's because the people of that state would rather vote for someone like him than a Democrat.
It is done.
Because that's how bad the programming in their head is.
He's back for.
Oh, hang on. That actually wouldn't be a bad one. How's it? Actually, its stats are pretty legit too. Cool. I do need that. I need to rip that one and put it on something else. I think I was going to rip this one too. I think that's the biggest one. He's still, and mind you, the Democrats still lost his seat next election, but the fact that it was that close. I think it was even less than 1%. And we knew that on the conservative side, they didn't care if people like sexually abused women. They don't view a lot of conservatives, not all conservatives, a lot of conservatives don't view women as people. They view them as property.
All right, travel.
So when they come forward with like sexual abuse allegations, they're like, okay.
All finished.
Hell, there's more than a handful that don't believe that marital R word. Once again, I'm trying to avoid saying some of these words. Is a thing. Like, if you are married to a woman, she cannot stop you from having sex with her. She's not legally allowed to. They legitimately believe that. Because once again, a lot of them view women as property. And you see that also among the incel community, which incidentally happens to be very conservative. Happens to be. I don't know.
The daughter of hatred demands blood.
Only reason I came to do this one, because it's almost always there, is so I could get that one little bit of XP to level up. And this is an easy event to do. Especially if you've got any movement impairment abilities. Yeah, I saw that. I showed up there near the end, and you look like you were having a good time.
Bearer of Lilith's blood, she will have your soul.
And I'm glad you were able to get it up and running on your own, because like I could imagine like 50 million things going wrong. And it's not like you don't know how. Why don't I have that? Why haven't I been putting points in that? And it's not like you're not. It's not like you don't know how to do this stuff on your own. It's just I can imagine a lot of things going wrong, and it becomes overwhelming pretty quickly. What was I putting points in a moment ago? Like I dropped some points in something. Oh, it was this? Okay. I just upgraded my shirt. Oh my god, that's a huge ass upgrade too. Fudge. And I just imprinted that too. It's a really good imprint. Damn it. That's good. No, I do know, and I could be mistaken, but I do know that lurking on YouTube is a little bit more difficult to do than it is on Twitch. Because like I've noticed that like when you lurk in YouTube, I think you have to actively have a tab up. I'll see if I can make it to it. So I don't think it's you have to like message every so often.
Not while I'm in town.
Yeah. Because like on Twitch, you can just have a tab open, but not up, and it'll still count. I know Kick It doesn't even care about that. But for YouTube, I think you not only have to have the tab up, but you have to have it in front of you. Like it has to be on one of your screens. Which is smart on the YouTube part because it allows them to ensure that the people who are listed as a viewer are getting the ads that they're supposed to. Oh, in case anybody didn't hear me mention it, you guys will probably be getting a Let's Play sometime soon. There is a possibility I'll drop it instead of streaming that day. There is a possibility I'll do that. It all depends when it comes down to my mindset. Ah, damn it, I missed it. It ended. Oh well. Yeah, I know if you mute the tab, or just bring the volume all the way down and it'll still count it. But on YouTube, you have to use a third-party app to do it right. There's some apps that allow you to like up and down a volume of a specific tab instead of like a whole website, like YouTube, like Chrome does. If you use that, then Google still or YouTube still thinks it's blaring at max volume, when in reality you've cranked it down to nothing. Yeah, so yeah, your view numbers might appear smaller because you're used to having a lot of people who just lurk, who like have you up in the background or something like that, or just have you up and muted even.
I need more time.
So it'll look like your numbers are a lot lower. Mind you, I know you don't look at your numbers anyway. At least I don't think you do. Yeah, I know. Like I figured you didn't look. I just know more than a handful of people who moved over to YouTube. We're used to having an epic amount of people who just lurked. Yeah. Like back in the day, I like, for instance, donations and stuff like that. I used to care a lot about. Now it's like it'd be nice. Don't get me wrong. Like getting members, getting donations and stuff. It means a lot when people do it. But I don't chase after it. Just doesn't mean anything. Like, yeah, I would love the money. Don't get me wrong. But honestly, I'd rather just make my money through ad revenue. Because that means I'm taking money from, I'm getting my payments from big businesses than instead of my friends or community or however you want to phrase it. Because, like, if I were to get a sponsorship, for instance, it would have to be something I actually care about or something I actually like. I wish I hadn't pressed that. Like, if Death Wish Coffee came to me and said, hey, we want to pay you to, like, sponsor our stuff, and I'm like, you know, I already drink your stuff on stream anyway. Like, yeah, that would be a fair one right there. And I'm a horrible judge on taste on coffee, because I drink my coffee cold. As long as nothing's growing in the coffee, I'll still drink it. So I'm a horrible judge on that. Oh, it tastes great. I wouldn't freaking know. I do have a episode of frick, what is it? Distractible. Markiplier and Bob and Wade's podcast. And if y'all know me, I look up to Markiplier. He's legitimate. He gives me hope that you can be a successful content creator and be a wholesome person. And the reason I say that is because there's a lot of, as I was talking about earlier, there's a lot of content creators who are just shitheads, just absolute positive shitheads. And seeing them be successful, even though they probably don't deserve it, kind of eats me a little bit at times. But no, like, he's super successful and he's legitimately a wholesome person. He has straight up told people, don't donate to me. Give it to other content creators. And I think at this point, all of his donations anyway go to, like, the Trevor Project and various other various other charity organizations. But anyway, so yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Distractable. So there's an episode I keep in a folder on my tab. You might have seen it. It says motivation. And it's got a handful of things in there, like just different things that just randomly give me motivation. Like whenever I'm feeling down, whenever I'm eating at myself a little bit, thinking I can't make it, stuff like that. I'll watch something from that tab. And I do recommend y'all build your own tab for that kind of thing. Just like different videos that motivate you, make you feel better. It could be just a bunch of cat videos. It doesn't matter. It's what makes you happy. What makes you feel better. Anyway. And the episode is called Self-Confidence, where they talk about things that they do to make themselves feel self-confident. And, or just like what in general has made them feel self-confident. In it, Markiplier talks about his early days of being a content creator. Like this, remember the time period. This was back in the day, which is probably a Tuesday, when the idea of being paid to be a let's player didn't exist. Markiplier is one of the first to really pull that off. So he did this. So like he was trying to get started in this field that technically didn't exist. He created the field. He was one of the people who created the field. It's not the only one, but he's up there. He's like one of the first. If I'm not mistaken, he's one of the first. Back before monetization was a thing. And especially because he lost his actual first channel. People forget that. The Markiplier games you watch now is actually his second channel. And I think it was either Bob or Wade, I want to say, or maybe both. Who, after his channel got canned, he was like, "Should I do this anymore?" And it got it got demonetized. Like he wasn't able to use Google's ad source anymore because you had to manually do that stuff yourself back in the day. And no, what was it?
As the servants of uncaring masters, as favored children, go forth and spread the word. Offer blood in the mother's honor.
So, like, yeah, he was having doubts. He was like, should I even do this? This is like before he had even 1,000 subscribers, which back in the day was a lot. Don't get me wrong. And he would have stopped there. He almost stopped there. He almost stopped being a content creator then and there. Because he lost the ability to monetize his original channel. And I don't even remember the reason why. And I think it's still demonetized. And then he made a video saying, like, he talked to his friend. I want to say it was Bob or Wade. I don't remember if it was them or which one it was. I just remember him talking to one of them. I want to say it was Bob. I want to say it was Bob because it feels like the way the answer would have been very much a Bob thing to say, because Bob is very antagonistic when they're streaming, but he's apparently an extremely supportive person. I could be wrong. Anyway, but he convinced him to keep going with it. He convinced him to keep going with his dream. And he did. And now we have Markiplier. Now, he also said in his early days of content creating, when he thought he couldn't do it, he said, Mark Fishbach, his real name, can't do it. But Markiplier can. And that gave him motivation to keep going. He created this other version of himself that could do the things he wanted to do. And he kept pushing himself. And that, I've experienced something similar because, a lot of y'all know me. Jack is not my birth name. Jack is the person I created. And that's the person I'm going to be, is Jack. So hearing somebody who is insanely successful like him had those self-doubts and had to power himself through it just motivates me so much. Jolly cooperation! God damn it, I didn't mean to hit that button. Oh well, it'll recharge pretty quickly. Oh, he's vampiric, goddamn. And that's a lot of where my mind goes with that. It picks me up knowing that somebody like Markiplier
I need time to prepare.
had that level of self-doubt. And there's like a few other videos in there, obviously. Like more than a handful of them are actually Markiplier for that reason. And I'm pretty sure Jacksepticeye's got a similar story. And like, especially like in the early days when it may have been impossible to ever make a living doing this kind of stuff and succeeding. And hell, if you want to take it a step further, like think of it this way, like his original goal wasn't to be a Let's Player. That wasn't his dream. That's not what he wanted. What he wanted was to be a sketch artist, effectively, like to do comedy. And he kind of has done that his whole career, where he just does goofy stuff and it's legitimately funny. And what he was going to do is like what you see him doing now a lot, which is the heist with Markiplier being a good example, where it's and In Space with Markiplier, where it's a bunch of different bits, but it's him playing all the different bits, so all of them are effectively him, and that's the joke. Because originally Markiplier was multiplier. That's what it was supposed to be, multiple marks. And he's, oh, sorry, I keep spacing. And he's only now able to start doing the things he kind of wanted to do from the beginning. This is actually one of the bosses that could probably kill me pretty damn quickly, if I'm not careful. His lightning strikes are insanely powerful. Easy to dodge if you're paying attention, but... like right there. Cool thing is I'm just applying stagger to him repeatedly when I do that. There we go. I was actually afraid I was going to lose this character on this one because, like, that boss has almost nuked me before on this character. So that type of boss, because they repeat bosses for dungeons. Let me just teleport to Ked Bardu because I forgot this is in the middle of nowhere. I know I've kind of like gone on a weird emotional dump this whole time. Oh, which, speaking of emotional dump, I do have something I need to cover. There was something in the news I saw that I kind of want to talk about. We're going to leave game just so I don't get, like, meteor falls from the sky and kills my character. I saved a couple of news stories I wanted to cover. Why am I being messaged? I think also, she also messaged me. Alright, let's see here. Now this bothers me. This bothers me. I kicked my 15-year-old daughter out of the house because she got her nose pierced. I don't know where she is. It's been 1 month. Should I go to the police? If you're kicking your kid out for getting a nose piercing, you're not allowed to have kids anymore. You're just not. Because a nose piercing is such a small thing. It is such a small thing. And for them to feel that getting their nose pierced is enough of a reason to kick your kid out, you are a bad parent. You should not be a parent. It is apparent that you should not be a parent. I couldn't resist the wordplay. Hang on. I have a button for this. Like, kids get tattoos. Kids get nose piercings without their parents' permission. Hell, at this point, kids get I'm gonna stop there. Not gonna say it. And, like, if you feel you need to control your kid that much, you're not a good parent. Because, in my opinion, you should be raising your kids in a way that you trust their judgment. And if they fail in some way, you gotta have to also be there to support them and help them rebuild their confidence in themselves. And your trust in them. Somebody over there on the side actually says they took their kid to get their nose pierced because they wanted to do it, but they also wanted to make sure nothing bad happened while there. Because your kids, if you don't have that open communication, like, I'm not a parent obviously, but if you don't have that open communication with your kids, then they're gonna do it anyway. But the difference is you won't have any form of input into it. So, for instance, if a kid is going to get their nose pierced, they might get it done by a friend, which will cause them to cause real damage. Or you can take them to a professional and it's done right. As an example. Same with a tattoo. You could have, you can say, okay, cool, you can get a tattoo, but can I please give you my opinion on what to get? Or where to get it. So they don't get a tramp stamp tattoo on the lower back that they regret later in their life. Because if you have that open communication, you have that trust, you have the ability to guide what your kid does. And I feel parents like this don't understand that. That's also why I don't like hitting your kids. Because if you hit your kids, you are teaching them violence is the answer in situations. In almost all situations, depending on the parent. Because some parents just want to beat their kids out of anger. And that's not a thing. The most, if you have to strike your kid, I would say is similar to what I do with Zane whenever he's being a little shithead and needs it. This. Literally just a tap. He knows what it means. He's in trouble. I don't move my arm back. It's literally just that. Nothing more. He knows what that means. You don't have to hit a kid to teach them. Have a conversation. Explain what they did wrong. And if they can't be taught from a conversation, then you have not taught them empathy. You have not taught them to understand how other people feel and their expectations of them. You have not taught them to be a functioning member of society. And that's still on you, and you should fix that. Kicking a kid out at 15 because they got their nose pierced makes you a bad parent. No question. Anybody got anything to say about that? I know I just went on a rant. Completely random. Have anything in stream stories that I've been saving? Nope. I keep dumping everything into stream research. Oh, here's one. I actually was saving this one. I forgot about this. So I don't like libertarians. I don't like libertarians. They stand against like me and libertarians can usually agree on the no war, but we have a different disagreement on the why. Libertarian Party of New Hampshire, I think that's what an H is. Martin Luther King was a violent socialist that absolutely meant no justice, no peace as a threat, abolished the entire civil rights agenda. You're trying to say the man who led marches with arms locked against cops with fire hoses and dogs was a violent protester? What is wrong with you? Even Malcolm X wasn't as nearly as bad as he gets painted all the damn time. And abolish the entire civil rights agenda. Let's get into that part. Let's follow up, because they do some follow-up tweets. Let's do that. Hang on. Here we go. Yeah, I think that person down there had a good answer. Anyway, there are some aspects of the King that are defensible, e.g. repealing the Jim Crow laws of Alabama. I agree with that. We can agree on that. Was a positive act viewed consequentially. But the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Voting Rights Act of 1965, the Fair Housing Act of 1968 are three most devastating, violent, and anti-libertarian pieces of legislation of all times. If your policies say that people should not be guaranteed the right to vote, guaranteed the right to be able to buy a house, not even guaranteed housing, just guaranteed fairness in getting the house, or just fair treatment, then your policies are wrong. Your political philosophy is wrong. That is not a question. Libertarians believe that government should not exist. They are borderline anarchists. That's the word I was looking for. Anarchists. And some of them only believe the government should exist in the case of military, and that's stupid. The government is there to ensure a fair shake for everybody. It is there to protect us from those who have too much power, such as billionaires who can buy our politicians and have taken over the system, so it doesn't effing matter. They're there to provide a form of safety net. It is the social construct. It is the social contract between the average citizen and every other citizen. Because to libertarians, we should not have roads. We should not have government roads. Nope, it should be a privatized thing. So you pay $50 to go down the street. We shouldn't have public police officers. I think we need to rework the police system. That's another conversation. We shouldn't have that. We should be private. They believe this is like their extreme versions of their policies, but this is where they, if you go down their rabbit hole, where they stand. And this pisses me off. I think one of the best jokes I heard was there was a tactic in World War II of you wound a Nazi and then shoot the person who tries to help them. And the response is, why? So you just shoot the libertarian to begin with. Because a lot of times you'll see that. You'll have these free speech absolutists who are like, we need free speech at all times. Sorry, I know I went on a rant. You know where I stand on a lot of this stuff. Unless there's a misinterpretation of what I meant, because I believe you agree with a lot of things I say. Excuse me. Anyway, you have a lot of accurate. Hi, Pepe. I'm safe in a city, so I should be able to talk. You're right. And unfortunately, so Japan has a way of protesting that is very, for some reason, it works in their culture, but it doesn't work. It wouldn't work in our culture. It wouldn't work in most Western cultures. They were protesting I think it was like it was effectively like a union protest for like the train conductors or something like that. And yeah, pretty much. They were protesting like it was like basically a union protest. They weren't getting enough benefits or something like that. I can't remember the exact reason, or maybe just the bus drivers. Either way, if the bus drivers or the train drivers protested and stopped working, the country would shut down. Not enough people drive to run the country, but they didn't do that. What they did was they refused to get paid. They refused to get paid. I think they also refused to take fares for a while, but on the buses because you can't do that for the trains. I think I may be misremembering this because it's a couple of years ago. In America, you couldn't do that. You legitimately like, yeah. I stand by people's right to protest, and I'm not a fan of libertarians. Now, as I said before, me and libertarians can get along on a few topics, like as I've said before, I don't like that I have to deconstruct this, even though I just made it. Anyway, what did it mean by I got a new? Hang on, I want to go check something. No, you know what? I stopped caring. And arguably that's why Donald Trump got elected. Is like what you said is want to go back to walking because the wheel is broken.
I cannot do
A lot of people pointed out that the system is so broken that people's answer to trying to fix it was going with this batshit crazy answer in hopes that it's what fixes the issue. This is funny. I'm an electric ball going across this rope. Because they were hoping that throwing a rock through the window would repair the building. Or encourage people to repair the building. Obviously it didn't work. Because your other choice was Hillary Clinton. And now and then your last time we just saw how horrible Trump was. And how, I think almost 1 million people died under his watch because of his lack of care of like handling COVID. Or lack of effort at it. Like, I don't think he even legitimately tried to do a damn thing. Told people to to drink bleach to try and get rid of COVID. Which doesn't work. Told people to take horse paste. That almost killed me. Try to thin out the herd with this. Because I arc a lot of electricity while I'm doing this, so I don't have to move. Now, 1 million Americans. That's just Americans. That's the number. Like, I think that's the number of COVID deaths. And the president was on there saying, "Shine sunlight up your butthole" or something like that. I can't remember. Like, I can't remember how it was. Like, he said a lot of really, really dumb shit in that regard. So our choices in the next election was, once again, the same old, a previous vice president or Donald Trump. And they chose, hey... Oh, no, we're not even talking about war side. We're not even talking about, like, the travesty or the horrible part of war that they do. That's without even mentioning that. I think a good example is, like, the president who won a Nobel Peace Prize, who should turn that shit in, Barack Obama, I think he drone striked a wedding. He is responsible for drone striking a wedding. And it's not like the wedding was full of like terrorists or anything like that. No. And that's not even talking about the fact that we were in technically 7 different wars. We were fighting a war in 7 different countries. Not just Iraq and Iran, like everybody says. We had active troops in a lot of countries in the Middle East because of our blank check of open war on terror. There was a study that came out that said millennials and younger are more afraid of going into debt than they are of dying. And that kind of hit me. I was trying to process why. The only answer I came back to was our generation has been through like almost our whole life of war. We've seen nothing but war. Since most of us, yeah, pretty much. But the Nobel Peace Prize used to mean something. Yep. Oh, I'm not going to do that one then. That one's just going to be too tedious. But I can go do this one. Anyway, but yeah, we grew up, like most of us became adults or were forced to grow up around the time of 9/11. We went into war immediately. We were told we needed to go, some people who were turning 18 at the time were told you needed to go die for our country. And because it was the right thing to do. And then we find out, and some of us knew and kind of suspected it in advance, but a lot of us find out much later that it was built on a lie. It wasn't real. The reason we went to war wasn't because Saddam... Like, yeah, the 9/11 happened, but we went to war in Iraq because, oh, Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. Never found. Not real. You find out people like Pat Tillman, he wasn't killed by terrorists. He wasn't killed by Al-Qaeda. He was fragged. He was killed by his own side. But then they put him up as a poster child. And we're the ones who are going to have to pick up the pieces. You have a generation of boomers and Gen Zers, or not Gen Z, Gen Ys, whatever the one before me is, who are convinced that Fox News is right. Let's see what
Not while I'm in town.
who are not only convinced that Fox News is right, that it's not propaganda, and from that they believe, like, some still believe that Trump won when he very much did not. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and switch this one. Like, I know it's gonna down my damage a little bit, but I think I'm gonna get like the lucky chance it's gonna make a huge difference. And then you have all the environmental stuff. You have them keep putting the same people back in office over and over and over again. And then eventually, like, I don't even see that, like, the damage is going to be too far gone. Like, there's going to reach a point where the damage is too far gone for even our generation's lifetime to fix any of it. And I wish I was joking. I wish I had faith that we could fix it. Don't know why I teleported here instead of like to one of the major cities. I know I'm doing like weird emotional dumps. I'm talking politics and ranting on that shit. I need to drink more water than coffee right now. XQC, he's a shithead. Like, hey, congrats to him to getting a stupid big deal. Congrats to him to getting a big deal to stream on Kick. All that stuff. But he moved over there and he immediately started streaming Breaking Bad. He may have also streamed Batman. I'm not sure on that one. Like, he's going over there like, hey, I want to go ahead and ruin this company I just got a big deal with.
Well done.
He may be a secret agent trying to, like, go behind their backs and destroy everything. I don't know.
Stars guide you.
Like, you know, congrats to him on that. Like, he's extremely successful, more power to him. But I feel like him, not to the same degree as like Aiden Ross, for instance. But I feel like he's just a bad influence. That's possible. That's a good example. Like, and honestly, the only reason I knew who Ice Poseidon is because of I think it was Turkey Tom did a breakdown on like his career. And it was a pretty good breakdown. Sorry, had to get a good stretch in. What's this one again? Oh, that's what it is. I was just looking at my soundboard and I couldn't remember what that button did. Yeah, Ice Poseidon was like pretty much the one who pioneered the IRL stream. Like, he was one of the first ones to really start doing it. And then it kind of took off after that. That was where his real niche kind of kicked in. That would be a good one to go get. Oh, it's all the way down there. That's why I haven't done it. That checks out. See if it's quicker this way. I hope it is. Yeah, Ice Poseidon, like, that was his thing. He kind of started the whole trend of IRL streams and just chattings. But unfortunately, because of how open he was with his community, he was just begging for trouble. Like the fact that he left his front door unlocked so viewers could come mess around with him and stuff like that. Like, there was that whole plane scare that happened.
Not
Yeah.
while I'm in town.
This kind of behavior is what's going to hold back Kick, ultimately. Now, right now, I think they're just trying to get their feet underneath them, and then they're going to start, like, being responsible. But as soon as I can afford it. Like, literally the only reason I'm not playing it on this stream right now is because I cannot afford it. It is $70, and I cannot afford it. I am broke. And even when I get paid at the beginning of the month, I will still be broke. Until my dad moves in as my roommate like he's supposed to, I will remain broke. because I'm currently shouldering the rent for this apartment all on my own.
I need more time.
So unless somebody wants to send me the some PlayStation gift cards, I will not be able to get it for a while. My official that's the actual reason.
I cannot do that.
The official excuse I'm going to give you is I'm waiting for it to come out on PC. That's the excuse. Now is that the truth? Nope, not even close. Because I'm really looking forward to playing 16. I've got a PS5. It's going to look legit. It looks legit. Violent Chocobo has been showing me some screenshots of it, and it looks really good. I've seen like one or two things from Penguinzo, like not even that much, like just small little snippets. And because he happened to have it like at the end of one of his videos, and it looked really good. Like, I intentionally avoided a lot of the trailers and stuff. And it actually does piss me off that a lot of people are review bombing it. And some people are making fake videos. One specifically is somebody made a video where, like, they were eating a sandwich and playing the game at the same time. And was having no issues. And that's because they had, like, all the assist item on. Which, by the way, the game gives you items that straight up make the game super easy. So that you can play if you don't have the motor skills or whatever. Hell, with 16 coming out, I almost wanted to start streaming 15 for a while there. Because I actually never finished 15. My only because I do have, but I will point out I do have other games that are higher on my priority list as well. So if I do get the free cash, I'd probably get those games first. Or I had the loose money to do it. Not like if somebody gave me the money to get it, then I'd get it. Like Armored Core is a good example. That game, even if it was a shit game, I'd probably still enjoy it. Yeah, pretty much. Well, I know the reason they did it was because they knew the game could be difficult, and some people may have just wanted to enjoy the story. So they did what some people were saying they wish Elden Ring would have done, which is created an easy mode, in which I feel there is. It's called using a bleed build. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I was gonna say something. Hey, extraterrestrial. Just a word of warning. I said this earlier in the stream, but I won't be streaming on Twitch anymore. Mostly because I don't want to pay for the restream. So if you're wanting to continue following me, you'll have to start watching me on YouTube. So, sorry about that. But it's good to see you around. I hadn't seen you in a little bit. Yeah. And, like, the guy may have done it to make a joke. Like, he wasn't being serious. But other people have used that video to trash the game, saying it's just absolute garbage. And what pisses me off is I can guarantee you it's a lot of people in the Souls community. Because the complaints they were giving sounded almost exactly what you hear within the Souls community. Because they were saying the same thing about Wulong. Oh, no, it's not. I'm not leaving Twitch because of that. I don't get paid. Like I don't make any real money from streaming on Twitch, so I don't care about that. I'm leaving because so I use Restream. That's how I'm able to stream both on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, and it costs me like $20 a month, and it's just not worth it to me in the long run. If I was like getting like a lot of ad money and a lot of donations and stuff like that, I'd be like, okay, cool, that makes it worth it. But I don't, so it's just not worth it to me. But no, I don't have any problem. Like once again, like I'm in a unique position where I don't care about their ad splits and all that, or their rev splits and stuff like that. I don't care. I really don't. There's just a lot of tech issues that also come up from me restreaming between the two, and me just focusing on one would probably make things mo better. The only advantage that streaming on Twitch really gives me is that, well, there's two. One, it's easier to donate and stuff like that on Twitch, so people are more incentivized to do it. Plus, I think there's more of a culture of doing it. So if people wanted to donate, it's easier. But two, there's also a lot of integration between Twitch and a lot of games. So, for instance, if I wanted to do 7 Days to Die, I could do a lot of integration where, because there's a VR 7 Days to Die mod that I want to try out, but where you guys could donate and cause things to happen to me IRL. Or happen to me in the game, I should say. Like, I've done that with Minecraft before, too. And I will say all this to say this, like yes, I would like to be able to make money while while doing content creation. I would be lying to you if I said I didn't. But making money is not my first priority. But I can't keep doing this if it ends up costing me too much. So I have to do cost-benefit analysis on that regard. Because if I'm spending $20 a month on Restream, then I am not spending $20 a month on trying to make mo better content. Not more content, mo better. Damn it. Didn't get that one before it exploded. Could be one more that spawns. There it is. I already got the 6 that I needed, so I didn't care. Yay, I got special pants. Good, I can rip that off and put it on my new chest, on my chest piece like I had it before. I feel if you're going to be a content creator, making money cannot be your first reason for being a content creator. Because you're not going to make it for a long time unless you know some super secret marketing stuff, which there are people who do. Ludwig probably being the best example.
I'm not ready yet.
I can see that. I do think streamers make a lot more money than they like. You know what? I'm going to take that back. I'm going to disagree with you, and I'm going to say for a very specific reason. As somebody who does stream for long periods of time, it is mentally exhausting. Being able to stay on, staying energized, staying entertaining, making people laugh for 8 hours a day is exhausting. And it's not easy, like, planning out your content. Like, if you're just somebody who just hops onto Warzone, doesn't engage with your community, and doesn't talk, yeah, no, you don't deserve a dime. You're just playing video games with the camera on. That's all you're doing. And even if that. But if you're somebody who actively engages, like I try to, talks with your community, tries to build a supportive community, and you bring more to the stream than just the video game that you're playing, if you're playing a video game at all, then I think you do earn money. Now, are there people who I think are overpaid? Yes. As I mentioned earlier, I don't think Aiden Ross should be getting the money he gets. I really think he's a bad influence. I just don't like him. Like, he just seems to relish appealing to the lowest, not the lowest, but just the people's bad impulses. Dude pulled up adult material. You can figure, he went to the hub on stream in front of kids. Got away with it. No punishment that we know of. Didn't get suspended, didn't get banned, none of it. Aired the Super Bowl, same thing. I know I said this before. Gets no punishment. But he makes millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Casually. But another example would be Amaranth, actually. Would be another example of where I would say like they do earn their money, though. Do I like her content? Not really. Not my thing. But she works her ass off. She's entertaining. She's able to engage with her community very damn well. And she spends a lot of time actually making content. Like, yeah, she does have an OnlyFans. But it's not just, oh, here's some nice pictures. Like, apparently she puts a lot of work into that work. And even if you say she's successful because of her looks, okay, you can argue that's a fair point if you want to make that point. You know how hard it is to maintain looking good? It's not just genetic. She has to keep herself in shape. She has to constantly worry about, like, every little detail about how she looks. So when people say that this content creator is only successful because of their looks, I'm like, yeah. But that only can take you so far. She also has a great personality that people like. So, like, I do agree and I don't agree. A lot of content creators a lot of YouTubers make their money from not only sponsorships, which is where you get a lot of money. You also get it from ad revenue. So even people who hate watch you end up making you money. Now, I'll admit, I've done more than my own handful of, like, low-effort content. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. And by that I mean not. By that I mean I didn't put as much effort into making the video as I could. That makes sense to y'all? Like, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm saying something that makes sense. Because I'm not mistaken, I think a majority of Twitch streamers specifically, I'm talking about, make their money from brand deals more than anything else. Now, as a weird side note, do I believe that there are some content creators who like sold their soul, not literally, but sold their soul so that they could be successful? Probably. Once again, going back to Aiden Ross because I still don't like him. He's a Jewish guy who has platformed literal Nazis. I have an issue with this. All right. I've been streaming for 2 hours. Like I started late. I kind of do want to continue on for the full 4 hour mark. 4 hours. God damn. I can speak. I know words. But I think I'm gonna wind it down here in a minute. First, I'm gonna go do some spins. Okay, that I can agree with. That I can agree with. Me and you were on the same page with that one. Let's do a bunch of rings. Actually, hang on. Let's do a bunch of boots.
Just tell your friends where you got it.
There we go. I can agree with that. I was actually talking about this earlier. I'm gonna finish up with me talking about some of this stuff because I kind of do want to like talk about it. I can go ahead and just exit here. I don't have to do anything. So, I hope my soundboard works here. Hang on, let me check. Oh, it does. Cool. All right. Because I didn't know I had set it up for here too. Anyway, so in regards to what you said, you're right. You're right. I feel that a lot of content creators these days are only successful because of drama. They go out of their way to create drama. I'm talking about XQC. I'm talking about Aiden Ross because of the drama they create. Aiden Ross's career is built on drama. Him picking fights, him saying things he shouldn't say. And you're right. Now, are there people like Markiplier, for instance, who, like, you could argue is rather sanitized in like how he approaches things? He does try to have a brand friendly approach, but I feel that's also because he's just a freaking wholesome person. He is just legitimately a wholesome person. It's not him going out of his way to be wholesome. He just is. because you see him stream for long hours, and you see when a person streams for long hours, you kind of get a hint of who they really are. And he's been doing this for 10 years. You would see who he really is by now, and he's been nothing but wholesome. Um, you mean the Paul brothers? Yeah, I agree. Where it's just a bunch of shitheads? I agree. I would like to see. Now, can you have like the content creators who do, you know, one thing I am glad we're past the prank era. We're way beyond that. I'm so glad. It's just a prank, bro. Go to hell. Like I'm glad we're beyond that, but ignoring that. I need to adjust my chat box because like my picture's covering it up a little bit. I just noticed that. The only one I really pay attention to is Distractable, which is Markiplier's one, because like I do get motivation from some of their stories and stuff, and they're legitimately funny. That's the only one I listen to. I do want to create. I am going to try and do my own podcast on both Coffee Over Gaming, which will be a live stream podcast, and I'll probably also do the Geek's Perspective, where it's more about me having co-hosts and stuff like that. Yeah, well, it's dying. That's good because I don't. I really, 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 really do not like prank things. It's just stupid. It just encourages like the worst behavior in us. Now, do I feel that there can be a side of modern content creation that has the bad boy side to it? Yeah, of course. Of course. But it feels like it feels like it's a real TV show, like where it's just all entirely scripted anyway. But I feel that we need a lot more content creators who are like, no, we can do better. Let's freaking uplift people. Because then you like, this is not even me going into like the political pundit side of it that I also pay attention to. Because I'm gonna adjust this while I'm talking. Because I feel that there is just an epic amount of grifters involved in the whole space. I have no idea who those are. I haven't been paying attention to that. In the gaming space, though, I will talk about this because this is going back to content creators. I forget their names. I forget some of their names. I can't remember who said it, but he referred to all LGBTQ people as groomers, which got his custom skins kicked out of the Warzone marketplace. And the response was Dr. Disrespect, who's a dickhead to begin with, requesting his stuff be banned. And you have a whole bunch of people who are siding with him. Like that's the only one I could. Who is Smosh Gaming Anthony? I don't know who either of those people are. I'm gonna look this up. Okay, Smosh Productions. Smosh is an American YouTube sketch comedy improv collective, independent production. Okay, now who's the other person that you said? Anthony. Okay. Let's do. Smosh, a popular OG YouTube channel that's been around since 2005, has had several reunions today. The first one is that the original Smosh member and co-founder Anthony Padilla has rejoined the team Shut Up after leaving in 2017 to start his own YouTube channel after creative differences with the parent company. That's cool, I guess. You get some of the original blood back. That's usually pretty good. A lot of the old feel back. So I got no opinion on it. Like I have no opinion on who these people are. I never followed them. Sorry, I can't say more about it. I just don't know. Yeah. Well, that's killed a lot of things. So a lot of I'm gonna call it YouTube careers were ended. Hell, we just lost Crank Gameplays. He's gone. He stopped. He's like, I'm done with that channel. I'm done. I don't know why he did. I guess it's burnout because a lot of content creators are getting burnout these days, and I get that. I've been working on my content creation for 3 years, and I a lot of times I do feel like I'm stagnating, that I'm never going to make it. And it happens. And even the ones who are already successful, they just have to keep burning brightly, and it gets exhausting. But it does seem like if as long as they're I don't know what their humor is, but as long as their humor is like respectable, I'm gonna say like humor is subjective. Humor really is subjective. But if your humor is I show speed barking at the camera kind of dumb stuff, then all right, whatever. I don't care. And then you have like I don't care about them either, but the FaZe clan, like they went all corporate and stuff like that, and like that's another example of like people losing their way. I do know that Machinima screwed over a lot of content creators back in the day. Just realizing like how curly my hair is right now. In a good way or a bad way, because he also got in trouble for the Paradox coin scam. CoffeeZilla did a good video on it, and so did Penguinzo. I'm not gonna play this just because, like, I know CoffeeZilla doesn't care if people share his stuff. Um, but this is the video. Oh, he's done racist rants too. God damn. But this is the video I'm talking about in regards to. And also, I show Speed likes to copyright strike people who play his stuff. But I'm generally not a fan of like his type of humor and the fact that he did scam people with a cryptocurrency. Hey guys.
Hello.
So I'm just generally not a fan of people like that. Like I don't even have to see much of his stuff, and plus his humor is not my kind of humor. Like during this one exactly, they were supposed to be giving a PS5 giveaway, but they ended up just smashing all the PS5s. And this is during I think this is around the pandemic time where everybody wanted a PS5. Yeah, right there. Like I cannot accept that. That is the kind of humor I cannot accept. Um, like it. Are you automatically in my shit pile if you made a questionable joke? No, but it does show your character. So I grew up in the South. A lot of y'all know this. I grew up in the South. I grew up in the woods of Florida. People forget that Florida, although has like Orlando and stuff like that, is very redneck in a lot of places. And I grew up around people who were literal Klansmen. I'm not joking. And they would say they're not racist, but then like every joke they ever made were racist jokes. They had no problem dropping the N word. I'm like, no, you're very racist. Growing up, I didn't realize, but now I really much do. And the things you joke about says a lot about your personality. If you joke about your own appearances and show that shows you have a lot of self hate. If you make a lot of joke about ethnicities and race, that shows that you have a racist streak in you. It shows a lot of your personality about what you laugh about. An example, I laugh about the billionaires or millionaires who got killed in the sub. Why? I really just don't like people who are super wealthy. I really just don't. Asterisk. If there are people who give back to the community and actually try to help people like Markiplier, then I'm more okay with it. Because I feel if you're that wealthy, chances are you've exploited people. Chances are. If you've hit $1 billion, you've definitely exploited people. There is no question in that. But I'm going to drop this video in chat. It's a good video. If anybody wants to watch it. CoffeeZilla does a lot of really good content. I'd love to be able to do stuff like his, but I really just don't have the ability. I don't have the mind for it. Like doing investigations and stuff. I have no idea how to do it. I have no idea how to do investigative journalism. Um, but you know, that's a thing I would like to talk about in later streams. Like, get some ideas on how we can maybe we can do it as a community. Try to encourage content creation to get better, to like show what people can be, like what good content creators can be. Like, I don't have to be like, oh, the Christian that way. No, I'm talking about like as a community, just talk about uplifting each other, like pushing each other to our goals. Like, y'all know my goals: get in damn shape. I want to lose my gut. Um, grow my YouTube stuff, because why? I want people to be able to be entertained and laugh about my stuff and hopefully get a positive message and become better versions of themselves. You have that dream, strive for it, because even if you don't make it to your dream, you're closer than when you started. That's just been what I've been for a lot of my life, and that's what I would love to see more content creators preach that and practice it. You do have people like Penguinzo, who is very supportive. Like, when he first started his career, he actually took no money. Every dollar you donate, every ad revenue he made, he donated. Hey, Trickster. And then once again, you have like Markiplier. All of his money comes from, like, I think his sponsors, Cloak Brand, and ad revenue. Anything you donate goes to like the Trevor Project. For those who don't know, the Trevor Project is like a suicide prevention hotline or help group for trans. Or I think LGBTQ is a general, but I know trans for sure. Um, you're right, because controversy gets a lot of clicks. That's one of the that's like one of the things that does bum me out. I know I bring it up constantly. Hopefully, well, I am crazy, but not that kind of crazy. But no, like, that's what I've been most of my life. Ever since 2016, when I started trying to have to piece myself back together, that's what I've been. I see what people strive for, and I want to either help you get there, and he won't. And he won't. Kick will protect him unless Amazon gets attacked, gets targeted because they can be. He won't get touched. He just signed a roughly $120 million deal, up to $120 million. He won't get touched, and he's also one of the largest content creators in general. I think I need to make a new scene, where it is more of just me than you guys seeing my desktop. Because I set this up because I figured I wouldn't be doing it too much, but it's going to be here more often, which I like it, actually. I do like, because once again, I only do the Let's Play background, like me playing a game, is because it gives something to look at if I'm, like, don't have anything to say. But when I'm actually able to engage with the community, I prefer it more. But no, like, you're right. XQC, Aiden Ross, I beating the dead horse here on that one. Sneeko, all these people, like, and please don't come at me with free speech. I believe in free speech, but I also believe in the responsibility that comes with that free speech. You cannot yell fire in a crowded theater and expect nothing to happen. You yell out racist things, don't be surprised when you get punched. And as Gothic will tell you, like, I don't like violence, I don't like fighting. Well, I like fighting in video games a lot, but I have no problem punching a Nazi. I think it's America's best national pastime. Now, some people will be like, so there is a really interesting philosophy that someone threw out there I really do like. And it was, it was meant to be confusing. It was the paradox of tolerance. To have a perfectly tolerant society, you must accept intolerance. And I disagree. Because somebody actually came up with a good counter answer to it. To be a perfect tolerant society, you do not need to accept. And later, I was bringing the stream to an end soon anyway, but it was good seeing you, Trickster. Hope you're doing well. Oh wait, before you go, see any good movies? I want to hear any good movies you saw before I end the stream. Anyway, to accept, you do not need to accept an intolerant part of society if you are expecting a tolerant society. And the reason why is because the intolerant people have already voided the social contract, because society and government and all this stuff is a social contract. contract. And if the social contract says we are accepting and we are welcoming, but then you have people who are like, I'm not accepting that, then they have not accepted the contract and therefore are not part of your society and do not get the same protections. I thought that was a really, really good answer to it. You guys will probably start seeing a lot more just random stuff being dropped on this channel. Because this channel is... That's also a good point. That's a good point. Technically, the First Amendment only protects you from the government inhibiting your free speech, not private corporations, and not me punching you in the face if you say Nazi stuff. Sitting here thinking,
Oh shit. Here we go again.
I'm trying to think, like I need to add more stuff to my soundboard. But no, that's a good way of putting it, Pepe. You're right. Freedom of speech does not mean you need to profit off your speech. Freedom of speech does not mean you need to be heard. Just that you are allowed to speak what you speak. If you stand in a soapbox and speak, no one's allowed to stop you, but no one has to listen to you. And people are finding out real fast, you don't have as much anonymity. You're not as hidden as you think while you're on the internet. Oh, yeah. There are people who legitimately think birds aren't real. There are people who think the world is flat, and not even ironically. And they're like, some of them are wealthy and famous, like some basketball players got shit for it. These people have flown in planes and seen the curvature of the earth, and they think it's fake. So yeah, no, like the internet has revealed and created these bubbles that reveal how bad some people are. Like how dumb some people get. And created cults. If I create a cult, it's purely of self-improvement. That's it. The cult of self-improvement. Make you the best you can make. Like, yeah, that fits. That checks out. That checks out. I actually really love the Body Improvement Club in Mob Psycho because they were like super uplifting. They did not give Mob shit for how underperforming he was, and they showed up when he was captured by those bullies without hesitation. They did not want to fight, but they're like, "No, you got our bro." Like they were legitimately awesome. Like I don't remember them being shitheads throughout that whole show. And at the whole time, they never knew how powerful Mob actually was. They didn't know he was a psychic. They just thought, oh, he's just this wimpy kid who wants to get strong. Not knowing he was this incredibly powerful psychic who could just lift things with his mind anyway. So yes, if you want to associate me with an anime thing, there you go. But it doesn't have to be body improvement. Just improve yourself. It doesn't have to be your body, but also your mind. Because trust me, I'm broken in the brain. That means a lot right there. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and start running it down.
You done messed up, AA Ron!
I had so many good chances to push that button, and I forgot I had it.
You done messed up, AA Ron!
Do not associate me with Reagan. If you're talking about President Reagan, fuck that guy. I want a clarification on that before I bring this stream to an end. What did you mean? The guy who did freaking trickle-down economics and ruined this country? Oh, mob. Okay. All right. Sorry. False alarm. Like, remember, I follow politics. That's where my mind goes half the time. You had a 50-50 shot. Like, shake that back. Anyway, but no, that works. That checks out. I want us to be better people. Everyone. I think everybody can be redeemed, too. Everyone. They don't have to be forgiven, but they can be redeemed. All right. Bringing it to an end. Yeah, it was actually a pretty good stream today. Like, I started with like low energy, kind of depressed, and kind of picked up. Had a lot of fun. I really do need to like I started really late because I slept in, but I actually kind of wanting to start later in the day for my streams anyway. I'm thinking 1600 4 p.m. my time, Pacific Standard Time, or 5 p.m. And that does give me the mornings to do my coffee over gaming if I decide to start doing that on Wednesdays. I think Wednesday or Fridays. Because those will only be like 30-minute to like an hour streams anyway. Give me plenty of time to recharge, get food, all that good stuff. Yeah. Appreciate everybody being here. I always do. Yeah, that's what I got. See ya.